Hi, what's up? So there's this new trend that I find super cringe, like I find most trends, where podcasters, when they're addressing you, they call you their bestie. And first of all, I think that this could be super uncomfortable for some people because we are literally in a loneliness epidemic currently. And also, it just feels like overstepping to me. Like, me and many other people who actually do have a best friend, whenever I hear that, I just snicker and I'm like, no, actually, like my real best friend. And then I conjure up images of some of my real best friends and um, how they would never be the kind of people to say that. That's like, it's so, I get why people are doing it and why they're trying to tap into like that like friendship level feeling that they feel that their listeners have with them. But this, in addition to a whole bunch of other stuff, a whole bunch of other cringy stuff, I should say, is what made me actually stop listening to one of my favorite podcasters. And when I say like one of my favorite podcasters, like this is one of the only people who I have, up until when I became, turned off. This was one of the only podcasts that I had listened to basically every single episode. There were only a couple that I hadn't. And now, of course, since I have stopped listening, that is, no longer true. There's a bunch that I haven't listened to from this person, but I was really like a diehard listener, to be honest. And this, in combination with like a lot of other just cringy things that she began doing and saying, it was just like no longer for me, and it was just no longer in alignment. But I just think that I don't know. I don't know that podcasters or brands, I don't know that y'all are doing yourselves any favor when you like try to use the whole bestie marketing tactic. I think that it's, first of all, it's getting overplayed. Didn't even really want to comment on it, to be honest, but it just it irked me more from a friend standpoint. It irked me more from a standpoint of somebody who does have a best friend, and I'm like, oh, I just I don't love this. It just it felt like overstepping. And maybe that's just me, but maybe some other people have felt similarly about this phrasing and heard it, like, again, in brand emails or all over social, basically, from brands and, from this podcaster. And I just wasn't a fan. I don't want to be this person's best friend. I don't, we don't know each other, right? Like there's like certain criteria that are important to being somebody's best friend, and that means you both know each other. Not I have an awareness of you and you don't have an awareness of me, and then you somehow think that we're best friends. Well, I hate to break it to you, but we are not best friends. But maybe one of the other millions of people who hears you saying that does want to be your best friend, because if you truly don't have a best friend, then I hope that for you. So I also can see the side where it's maybe this podcaster like reaching out, like trying to establish that friendship, because you could have, all the things and be very successful and not have friends, not have friendship to share that with. So, sending her lots of light and love if that's the case. But I just think it's more of a way to try to like feign this intimacy and make it seem more like there's a two-way relationship there, when it's a one-way relationship. Like, we listen to you and you make your living off of it. Like, we get tips too. Of course, there's value add, obviously. If there wasn't value add, there's no way I would have ever been able to find myself interested in listening to 200 episodes of this person's podcast. Like I said, I listen to podcasts, but I listen to a lot of different podcasts. There's very few shows where I'm like, oh, yep, check. Like, here's your 6 unplayed episodes of 300. So there's very few shows that were in that bucket. And so, yeah, I was just really disappointed to see this from this person. And again, maybe it's coming from them wanting to try to call in a best friend and manifest it in a certain way. Maybe that's part of the reason why they're using that terminology. But I just happen to think that it might be the other one, that it might be that the marketing tactic of trying to establish more of an intimate relationship up to the point of not just friendship, but best friendship, all the way up here on the pedestal, trying to wedge yourself in to be somebody's best friend just because they listen to your podcast. Although I will say, it is important, if you're going to be somebody's best friend and they have a podcast, it's important that you listen to it. Support your friends. Moral of the story.